Coming up on Inside BC Football, we'll take a look back at the NC State and Syracuse games with the coach, Steve Addazio. We'll also talk to former BC star Luke Keighley and current stars Matt Milano and Myles Willis. All coming up next on Inside BC Football. Hi everybody and welcome to Inside BC Football. I'm Meterparel. The Eagles are 10 games into the season and still striving for a bowl berth. I sat down with Coach Steve Addazio for a look at where they stand now.
Finley steps up, floats it over the middle. It is intercepted by Boston College.
Rushes on, Landry's coming, and he plants him at the 50. Harold Landry ate him for lunch.
I'm here with the coach, Steve Addazio. Steve, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, John.
How's everything going? We're a little relaxed now. It's we got 4 games left here, but let's go back to the Syracuse game. And that was a game where I'm sure you're thinking, man, we could have won that game. There were spurts there that you played very well. Yep. Syracuse just had a little bit too much at the end. What happened there?
Well, I just think, there's a few things in that game. We had some really unbelievable scoring opportunities in the beginning of the game. We had a walk-in touchdown, and then I forgot, exactly where it was, where we had the next walk-in touchdown with Mike Walker, where we got stripped from the ball. That's 14 points right there. That's hard to give up 14 points in a game like that. I thought we played pretty well up front, both sides of the ball. We let up some big plays on defense in the throw game. We knew that we could get hit a couple times there, but all in all, I felt like we gave away a great opportunity for a win there.
The throw game was a problem with Eric Dungy, threw for 300-plus yards. He was a tough quarterback to corral. Do you feel like your defensive back play is coming around?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I thought that was evident last week. But, when you're playing some of these really good quarterback-receiver combinations that we have in the ACC right now, between Virginia Tech and Clemson and Syracuse, those combinations, no matter what's going on everywhere else, if you've got a quarterback that can send it accurately down the field and a receiver that can just go up and take it out of the sky, then, you can neutralize a lot of other players on that field. And those combinations hurt us.
NC State game, it was better, though, especially Cam Moore at the end of the game with the clinching interception. He read that perfectly. The receiver didn't. He did. That was a game where you talked about resolve and heart and grit and determination and a collective effort. That's the one you're looking for 60 minutes, right?
There's no question, and that was a very talented football team on top of all that. So on the road, that was a quality win against a talented team on the road, and guys rose up. To win, we need to all come together, both sides of the ball, special teams, and everyone has to pitch in and win as a team, which is a great thing. That's what we'd like to be, that kind of team, and we're heading that direction right now. And learning how to do that is all part of this, and we're learning how to do that. And on offense, we're playing with a lot of guys that haven't played a lot of football, and they're starting to play football together now. The offensive line's coming together. The receivers are starting to come together. There's a lot of guys starting to pull together right now, which I think is critically important. Pat's getting a little bit more comfortable. He may be a fifth-year player, but he's a first-year player in any kind of offense that resembles this. I mean, he's been a part of more of a shotgun, throw the bubble, hurry up, and not reading route progressions and things like that. So this is new for him as well. So I think you're seeing growth. The growth we thought we saw in the very beginning of the year, we're seeing now, and I like what I'm seeing there.
There's so many offensive chunk plays, explosive plays in the NC State game, including Jeff Smith's sweep for 60 yards. Yeah. The creativity on offense, is that going to continue going forward? Yeah,
I mean, I think what happens is the more you can stay on the field, the more creativity can become a factor. When you're 3 and out too much, it's hard to ever get going.
Coach, final seconds here. What's the formula for winning football for BC down the stretch?
Well, I think it's what we were talking about. I think the offensive line's got to continue to develop on offense. I think the receivers got to continue to catch the ball. Everyone's got to contribute in order to make plays. On defense, we're playing really well up front right now. I think the back end is going against some really talented guys, but you can see growth back there. I thought against NC State, they're really challenging the ball. I think we're growing as a football team, special teams as well, and I think we got to continue to develop and grow, but the future is very, very bright, and I think that's hard not to admit when you watch our team.
Good luck, Coach. We look forward to watching it, and coming up, one of his stars, Myles Willis, will talk to us on Inside BC Football.
Myles Willis from Atlanta, Georgia. My favorite type of movie, my favorite series of movies is the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman. I love it. I love those movies. To hang with any celebrity, it would probably be Kanye West, just because everything's happening in his life right now. I can't live without any type of Southern influence. I need that. Either I'm listening to Atlanta rap music or I'm eating Southern food. I just need my Southern influence to keep me sane. My biggest fear is not reaching my full potential. My favorite holiday would be Thanksgiving, because that's just a great holiday as far as at its core, getting family together, watching football, watching sports, and just having everyone together. My favorite zoo animal is the orangutans. When I was in middle school, actually elementary school, we had a study and we studied orangutans, and that's what I did for every week. I was just studying orangutans, and they're really interesting. My warning label would say, don't kick to me, especially if you're a Syracuse Orange.
Inside BC Football is brought to you by Allstate, Coldwell Banker, WB Mason, and Xfinity.
Kick that'll be fielded by Willis at the 5, and away we go from Chestnut Hill with Willis back up the field. 30, 35, and Myles Willis sets sail down the near sideline, and BC has run the opening kick back for a touchdown.
Welcome back to Inside BC Football. I'm with BC's star running back Myles Willis. Myles, great to see you. You've had a terrific career at BC. It's amazing it's almost over, but when you reflect back on how you progressed throughout your career, what most sticks out to you?
I guess just developing as a man and being more mature, and that's something that Coach Adagio does a great job of molding men. You know, freshman year, you're a lot more into excuse making and things that you want, and now that I'm a senior, I'm more aggressive, saying I want this, and that goes outside of football. Like if I want this job, I'm being aggressive towards that.
You had a storied career as a high school quarterback outside Atlanta. What was the most difficult transition for you to come to the college ranks and play running back?
I guess just getting used to not being the one in charge. That's something I still struggle with. Every now and then I'm if I'm in the huddle and I see something and there's a play I want, I'm quick to go to the sideline. I want to say this, let's do that. But a part of being a great leader, which is something I learned, is also being a good listener and being able to sit back and follow. And that's something that as a running back you're put in those positions more than as a quarterback where you're expected to lead. As
a quad captain this year, taking it upon yourself to have that leadership role, what's it like in the locker room, game in and game out, to get guys going?
Well, the great thing about BC, we have a team full of leaders. I'm honored to have the title of being captain, but there's so many leaders on this team that don't have that same title, which also makes it even more special that people who are living their life in the right way identify you as a captain as well. So it's awesome, but it's also an easy team to lead.
And you are a special team star. You have 3 kickoff returns in your career for a touchdown. The Desmond Howard of Boston College. Why are you so successful returning kicks?
I don't know, really. I was just talking to Tyler the night before the Syracuse game, and I told him that my first taste of varsity high school football, they put me back there at kick return, something I never did. And I never wanted to do it again. I was back there, and I was so happy they kicked the ball away from me. I was so nervous, and now I get to college and you just want to play. And, I come in, I have Andre Williams in front of me, so running back, you're not going to get that many snaps. So I was like, let me just play kick return. And that's just something that translated running the option in high school, and now pretty much that just turns into an option read, and, the kick return just makes something happen.
Break it down for us. You get the ball at the 5-yard line against Syracuse a couple weeks ago, and you bring it back 89 yards for a touchdown. What are you seeing in front of you?
I'm seeing the rain fall. I see the ball hit the ground, and I didn't want to run up and field it in the rain. I didn't want to make a mistake, so I was like, it's going to bounce into my hands. It bounced perfectly into my hands, and we had a field return called, so I knew if I can just outrun anyone coming from the boundary, then I'll be able to just break loose and see if anyone can catch me.
It was a spectacular play. You've been fun to watch. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach Addazio. My name is Gary, and I'm a big BC football fan. I wanted to know if you could explain to me the best way a defensive back can cover a wide receiver on a fly pattern, and what technique should they use?
Okay, Gary, well, that's a fine question. I think there's so many different ways to handle that. Obviously, as a DB, first thing you can do is play press man. And if you're in press man, that means you're going to jam the receiver and try to disrupt them from the line of scrimmage, okay, and then be able to run with him and watch him as your back is turned, watch him in man coverage, watch his eyes and his arms. And as they eyes open and arms elevate because the ball is coming, then you're trying to get yourself turned in stream, in air, and make a play for the ball through his eyes, through his arms, raking as you're going. Then, of course, in zone coverage, off man, you know, you want to stay on weaving and pedaling, you want to stay on top of the receiver with your sight line back to the quarterback. So there's a lot of different ways to attack. We employ both, right? We're going to play zone, whether it be a 3-deep or a 2-deep zone, and we're also going to play man, and then we're going to play man bump, right? So you can also play man where you're off, but you're in man coverage, keep an inside weave action. So there's really 3 phases that we employ, and I think during the game you'll see us use all 3.
12 yards is what you're looking for right now if you're Matt Ryan.
Plenty of time. Cannot take a sack here. Ryan will fire.
Oh,
the end zone.
Oh!
Wide open for the touchdown is Callender. And Lane Stadium goes silent with the 11 seconds to play.
But how about Matt Ryan?
Oh, Jags got the worst of that. Ryan knocked him down.
He did. I don't think he cares right now. He's got that smile. Another picture for the media guy.
What a great night that was in Blacksburg, Virginia, as the Eagles stunned Virginia Tech and climbed to number 2 in the national rankings behind Matt Ryan. Now I had a chance to sit down with an all-time Eagle great, the best defensive player in school history and the best defensive player in the NFL, Luke Keighley of the Carolina Panthers. All right, I'm here with former BC star Luke Keighley. Luke, great to see you, and it's certainly a tremendous honor for you to have your jersey retired. What were you thinking when you heard about this honor?
You know, I was kind of caught off guard. You know, I didn't expect it, but you know what I thought of it was all the time we spend out there on that field in the summer during the season, during workouts, and you're running sprints and you're running all your different drills out there, and you look up and you always see the Flutie and the Ruth jerseys up on the wall, and when you're thinking at that age, like maybe one of these days I can be up there too. So to have the opportunity to be up there is special, and you know, I'm very thankful for BC to give me that opportunity, and it's a special place, and I'm very fortunate to come here. Very fortunate to have a bunch of good people around me, and it's a special honor, and you know, I'm proud to be an Eagle.
How did BC prepare you for the rigors of the NFL?
I think we worked extremely hard. I think that was the one thing that we did really well here, is we worked really hard. We practiced hard, we lifted, we worked out hard, and that's one thing that you can't replicate. You know, a guy either works hard or he doesn't, and for us here, we did that, and I think it's really paid dividends in the NFL, just having a good work ethic that was, you know, really instilled here.
When you first went to the Panthers, what was going through your mind? Was it going a mile a minute? Was there a point where you said, man, this is overwhelming?
You know, it's a step up, and you know, I kind of likened it to, you go from high school to college, and everything's bigger, everything's faster, everyone's experience level is way more, and you gotta pick it up quick. And luckily for me, kind of like here, I had a bunch of good guys in Carolina that helped me out a lot, and I was very fortunate. You know, Thomas Davis and John Beeson, and those guys were awesome. And it was kind of like here, I had Mike Morrissey and Wes Davis and Mark, and those guys were great. And like I said, I've been very fortunate to have guys like that at all levels I've played at, and it's paid off for me.
And the Cam Newton experience, what's that like to play with Cam?
Oh, he's great, man. He brings great energy. He's a fun guy, loves to have fun. He's a tremendous athlete and a tremendous talent, and he can probably do about anything he wants on the field. So it's a fun guy to play with. He's very unique, and he gives us a chance to win.
And what about the current direction of the program? What do you think of BC football now?
I think they're working hard, and they're moving in the right direction. I think, they haven't been where they wanted to be, but I think these coaches have a vision, and they're working towards that vision, and I think they have some good players in their team that once everybody buys in that vision, it'll be good to go.
You're going to talk to the team in a little bit. What's your message going to be to the players?
You know, for me, it's you know, play hard and do your job. You know, among some other things, and that's what we talk about in Carolina is you can't replicate effort, and as long as everybody's doing their job and trusting each other, you're going to be all right.
And finally, what do you think is going to be going through your mind when you hear that number 40 or see that number 40 go up tomorrow?
Oh man, I'm excited. You know, just the time I spent here, I loved, and like I said, I do it all over again, and it's a special honor. I'm very thankful for BC. They gave me the opportunity to come here, and you know, the opportunity to have my jersey retired is pretty cool.
Luke Keighley, he's the classic BC guy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
As we officially place Luke Keighley's jersey forever alongside our other Eagle football greats.
Hey Matt, my name is Bob. As your career at BC comes to an end, what has been the best part about playing football for BC? And also, what are your plans for the future?
Bob, thanks for the question. The best part of playing football at BC is definitely the locker room environment and just forming that connection with the brothers that I made throughout the years. And moving forward, I hopefully try to get a shot in the NFL. Matt Milano, Orlando, Florida. My favorite type of music is electric dance music. My strongest talent is football. When I have free time on my hands, I like to fish. My favorite home-cooked meal is my mother's lasagna. The ultimate ride for me would definitely be a Bentley. My favorite all-time movie is Scarface. My favorite cereal is Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
Finally, a cereal my whole family loves, Honey Bunches of Oats. Nothing else is that tasty.
The oldest thing in my refrigerator is a can of sauce from the first week of school, penne alla vodka. My biggest pet peeve is people who ask dumb questions.
Moving left to right. The back is Mills. Play fake. BC reads it perfectly at the 32. Matt Milano makes the stop for a loss of 10.
Welcome back to Inside BC Football with Matt Milano. I'm John Meterparel. Matt, good to see you. And you've had a terrific career here at BC. And one of the best things that I think you've done is progress. You've improved every year. Now you're in your senior year. Do you feel like you're at a point where, you know what, you're still learning? Are you still a sponge here at BC, or have you reached a level where you're very comfortable on the field?
Definitely still learning, and everything, in every aspect of life, you always want to be learning. There's never room to settle, so I would say that there's still a lot more to be done.
When you reflect back on your career, and there's been so many great moments, what stands out to you in terms of what you've accomplished?
Just definitely seeing the hard work that this team has put in and seeing it actually come to life last week at NC State was really a great moment that I've had here at BC.
The NC State game was so emotional on many levels. First ACC win in nearly 2 years, but also stopping their rushing attack. You held them to 31 rushing yards. Why were you so successful in that area?
That was one of the main things we focused on during the week. I feel like everything that happens during the game is the things you work on during the week, and that was a big emphasis that we had.
And from a leadership perspective, what do you have to do to make sure the players are up every week?
I think just keep the guys going, you know, focus on the next play. If we get hit one play, next play, you know, there's nothing you can do about the last play.
And what have you learned from defensive coordinator Jim Reed, Paul Pasqualoni, Steve Addazio that will carry you forward?
One thing is the attention to detail. Everything is so critical. If you're off by this much, the play can hit by that much, and it'll be a touchdown. So I think just knowing my assignment and what I have to do and doing it to perfection.
And you're known around college football as a hybrid, a guy who can play linebacker, who can play safety. Don Brown had a big role in that last year, good development there. A Swiss Army knife, so to speak. What's it like to be defined like that?
I like it a lot, you know. Like if you think of a linebacker, sometimes you just think, oh, he just plays in the box, he just pounds his gap, you know. But being a hybrid role, it allows me to both play on the edge, play outside, play in coverage, and also come in the box and play as well.
And moving forward, the last few games, what does BC have to do to become bowl eligible?
We gotta do whatever we can. That's the main focus. Just take it one game at a time. We don't want to look too far ahead or in the future, but just take this next game by the throat.
And what's in your future? What's next for Matt Milano? And what have you learned from BC in the academic setting?
Yep, definitely take a shot at the NFL, and then we'll see from there. But right now, that's my main focus.
That wraps up another edition of Inside BC Football. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again next time.
Short kickoff by Cole Murphy, fielded at the 12. And here comes Myles Willis, past the 20 to the 25-30, on his horse to the 40. Willis to the 50, Willis to the 40. He's a goner. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Boston College. Myles Willis.
Jones is committed as the running back to the left of Tolles. Jones will throw it into the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Boston College. Jones finds Tommy Sweeney, 14 yards and a BC score. This is Smith around the corner, accelerating. Jeff Smith down the sideline, and he gets to the end zone for the Eagles. 60 yards for Smith.
Inside BC Football is brought to you by Allstate, Coldwell Banker, WB Mason, and Xfinity.